The EV takeover is not the same as it was years ago. The king of car companies, Toyota, just dropped a truth nuke that'll send ripples through the entire industry. Akio Toyoda, the chairman of the world's biggest automaker, just declared war on the electric vehicle crusade. No, you didn't mishear that. The company responsible for the Prius, the poster child of hybrid cars, is saying, "Stop, please, I can't see the future of EVs." What's going on? Is it something alarming? In this video, we will get into Toyota's shocking stance on EVs, dissect Toyota's bold claims, and reveal the uncomfortable truth that might just change your perspective on the future of transportation. So stick around and don't forget to subscribe to the channel first. Akio Toyoda is the big shot at the wheel of the world's largest car-making juggernaut. He's not your typical auto executive. He's waving the flag for the silent rebels in the car business. Why? Because he's not entirely sold on electric vehicles or EVs being the only future of the car game. In fact, he's got a laundry list of reasons why he's got his doubts, and they're worth a listen. First off, Toyota's not buying into the whole EV craze because of a little thing called lithium. These electric cars guzzle up rare earth metals, and lithium is the superstar in the battery production show. The catch is that there is only so much lithium to go around, and as EV production skyrockets, we're heading straight for a lithium shortage. But that's not the only hiccup. Think about the weight of getting that precious lithium out of the ground. It's not a walk in the park for Mother Nature. The environmental toll of mining lithium is no joke, and a good chunk of the world's lithium stash is in the hands of China. So guess what? Western car makers are playing catch up, always a step behind in the resource and cost game. And Toyota's big cheese isn't throwing all his chips on the EV table just yet. Now let's break down lithium-ion batteries' nitty-gritty and real-world impact, keeping them chill and easy to digest. So Akio Toyoda isn't just throwing shade at electric vehicles for fun. His chief scientist, Gil Pratt, and the brainiac team at Toyota are backing him up with some interesting findings. There's this limited stash of lithium, right? Gil Pratt and the gang did some number crunching and came up with an intelligent move. Instead of putting all our lithium eggs in one EV basket, they say, hey, let's spread the love among as many cars as possible. Practical, right? They took a hypothetical 100-car fleet where each ride emits around 250 grams of carbon dioxide per kilometer. Now with the limited lithium on hand, they can either make one massive 100 kilowatt battery for a full-on electric car or divvy it up to make 90 hybrid cars. What's the verdict? Going hybrid is the winner in efficiency. Why, you ask? Well, it's all about bang for your lithium buck. Having 90 hybrids cruising around beats having just one electric car and 99 gas guzzlers. According to Pratt's math magic, the gas emissions with all those hybrids dropped to 205 grams per kilometer. But if you roll with only one electric car, the drop is a measly 1.5 grams. See the difference? In plain English, spreading that limited lithium across more hybrids seriously curtails overall gas emissions. It's like having a bunch of eco-friendly sidekicks, reducing the carbon footprint way more effectively than putting all our hopes on just one electric superhero. And with this, we must admit that Toyota's take on EVs now is not all sunshine and rainbows. We're talking about an industry that cranks out a whopping 10 million vehicles annually, and half of those babies are jetting off to distant corners of the globe. It's no joke. The automotive industry in Japan provides jobs and keeps cash flowing. Now, being the big dog in the game, Toyota is throwing up a caution sign about this radical switch to EVs. Why? According to them, it's not just about cars. It's about the 5.5 million workers whose jobs could be on the line. Toyota's not thrilled with how the Japanese government is gunning for carbon neutrality, especially if it means waving goodbye to the good old internal combustion engine. See, Toyota's got a point. Japan is all about shipping out cars to the world, and if they go full throttle on EVs, the manufacturing industry could take a severe hit. And let's talk jobs. We're looking at a risk of losing the majority of those 5.5 million gigs that keep the wheels turning. Toyota's saying, hold up, we need to be practical about this. Instead of waving goodbye to the trusty hybrid, they reckon it's the key to slashing carbon emissions without putting millions out of work. They do not see internal combustion engines as the enemy, but as a lifeline to keep producing vehicles and keep those workers on the payroll. The vibe from Toyota is unmistakable. We've got to find a middle ground. Let's not go all in on EVs and risk drowning the industry. Instead, they're championing a practical approach, keeping hybrids in the mix to tackle emissions while keeping the wheels of the economy turning. Toyota is also working on the next generation of internal combustion engines, a bold statement that EVs aren't the only way to get to carbon neutrality. The company is ahead of the game and is committed to the good old-fashioned petroleum engine. They showed off a modified Toyota Gris with a powerful 3-cylinder engine and a Lexus LBX Merito Idea with 300 horsepower that made everyone gasp. They're stating, "We're not putting all our eggs in the EV basket. Combustion engines, you're still our ride or die." As the rest of the car industry goes crazy over EVs, Toyota stands tall and says improving engine technology is just as important. They aren't telling everyone everything they know about this next-generation combustion engine, but experts are getting close. It's been said that Toyota and Mazda might work together on this because two minds are better than one, right? What are these fancy engines cooking up? You can expect more compression and some cool technologies for burning lean. Toyota says we can make our cars more fuel efficient without giving up our trusty combustion engines. Toyota doesn't just want to use regular fuel. They're also adding hydrogen. Yes, a hydrogen combustion engine is being worked on and will be shown off for the first time at the World Endurance Championship in 2027. We've got tricks up our sleeves, and EVs aren't the only stars in our show. Sounds like Toyota's message. Carbon neutrality isn't just about plugging in. It's about pushing the limits with the tech we have, Toyota says, beating the odds and upping the engine game. And now we have another surprise about Toyota for you. Toyota's not jumping on the EV bandwagon like everyone else. And why would they? They've always been petrol heads, the true blue fans of the good old combustion engine. So when they say we're not sold on EVs being the only green solution, it's not exactly a plot twist. Toyota's been playing the lobbying game against EVs, making headlines for rubbing shoulders with congressional leaders last July. The agenda is to put the brakes on Biden's big plans to splash billions on EV incentives. But Toyota's not just pumping the brakes, they're committing to massive electrification. They're throwing a cool $1.29 billion into a new factory, churning out batteries for electric hybrid vehicles. That's a serious chunk of change, and 1,750 new jobs. So while throwing some shade at EVs, they're investing big in the same game. Confusing? Maybe. But Toyota's got a diverse game plan. Now, some skeptics think Toyota's been playing a sneaky game, secretly slowing down the EV transition to buy time. Why? Maybe they want to catch up with rival companies who dove headfirst into EVs, leaving Toyota behind. And speaking of time, Toyota's CEO recently said he's about a diverse approach, not putting all the eggs in the EV basket like Ford and GM. While those guys were making grand plans, reality hit hard. And now they're shelling out billions and delaying EV investments. Meanwhile, Toyota plays it safe with hybrids and plug-in hybrids and even explores hydrogen fuel cell vehicles. Additionally, Toyota's not letting regulations or politics call the shots. According to them, it's the customers who should decide. And guess what? Customers aren't all gung-ho about full electrification. Toyota's betting that internal combustion cars, both gas-only and hybrids, will still rule the market. And they might have a point. EVs are pricier, less convenient, and unreliable for the average Joe. Add in the shortage of charging stations, sky-high insurance, and the crazy depreciation, and you've got some serious roadblocks. And let's not forget the rest of the world. Developing countries are facing a whole different set of challenges, from lousy grids to a population that can't afford EVs. Toyota's throwing shade with a question. How can EVs be the future when 1 billion people on Earth have no electricity? No one seems to have a snappy comeback to that. So there you have it. What do you think of EVs and their future? Do let us know in the comments section below, and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I will see you in the next one.